look at smart strategies for your IRA. Stewart Welch joins us once again from the Welch Group. We looked at, I guess, 1 through 3. By the way, you can still see those segments. It's on our website and WBRC's app. So, but now we're looking at strategy number 4. All right, so talk about set this one up for us.
Well, first, thanks for the blue tie memo.
Yeah, we did well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did good. So this one is split out multiple beneficiaries. So typically a parent's going to leave, let's say the 3 children as the beneficiary of the IRA.
Okay.
Well, a lot of times there's a lot of separation between the ages of the eldest and the youngest. And you've got to split those out into separate inherited IRAs, and you have to do it by December 31st of the year following the year of death. If you don't do that, remember how you're required to take a distribution from IRAs?
Right.
If you inherit one, you have to start taking distributions, but you get to take it over your life expectancy, but only if you split those out. If you don't do that, then the youngest of those children has to take those distributions over the life expectancy of the oldest child. So really important.
Wow, so different stipulations there for that.
Yeah, so you got to be really careful.
All right, so then the next strategy you talk about, and this one's pretty interesting to me, I actually skipped ahead, is how you may want to skip a generation. Explain that.
So let's say that you're a 70-year-old parent, and you've got your child, your adult child, and let's say he's 45, 50 years old, and he's the beneficiary. But you look at him and say, he's already really successful. He doesn't need the money, but I've got a grandchild who's 15. Consider skipping the child and making the gift, making the grandchild the beneficiary. Now that grandchild can take those distributions over the grandchild's life expectancy, but at a 15-year-old, that life expectancy is really, really long, and that child's liable to be in a low or zero tax bracket.
All right, you're really giving us a lot to think about. Okay, strategy 6. I didn't know if we were going to get time for this one, but talk about, you can actually, so you can give it to charity if nobody in your family needs it, I guess?
Well, think of this. A lot of people in their will say, I'm going to leave $10,000 to the church, and then they leave their $10,000 IRA to their child. Well, if you're the child, would you rather receive $10,000 in an IRA, or would you rather receive $10,000 in cash? If you're going to get your money out of the IRA, you're going to have to pay income tax to do that.
Okay.
So what you do is you say, okay, instead of it's called a specific bequest. Instead of a specific bequest in my will directly to a charity, I'm just going to name the charity as the beneficiary under my IRA, and I'm going to give the child the cash. That way you give away the tax problem.
All right, what do you mean by pay out non-person beneficiaries? So
a lot of times in an IRA, they'll say, I'm going to give $10,000 to the American Cancer Society, and everything else I'm going to split between my children. So if that's the case, you need to pay out to that charity before September 30th of the year following the year of death. A little complicated.
Right.
And so that the children can take that inherited IRA and split it and take distributions across their life expectancy. If you don't do that, those children have to take that money out within 5 years. Okay, we're going to we're going to try to fit in strategy number 8. I think we actually have time for this. So strategy number 8 now is a Roth IRA. So what I would say is all the strategies before that work even better generally with a Roth IRA. And the reason is you have to take required distributions with a Roth IRA, but those distributions come out non-taxable. So when you're thinking about using a Roth IRA, think about what are the best strategies for getting that, say, to that grandchild, and let that grandchild stretch that out over that really long period of time. When is a Roth IRA not good for a person? Well, if you're an inheritor, it's always good. Okay. But if you're the one considering putting money into an IRA, generally if you had an option to put it in on a tax deductible basis, you'd probably choose that, whereas when you put money into a Roth IRA, you don't get an income tax for that. Okay, so I hope everybody's been taking notes. There will be a test a little bit later. No. Well, it's all on the website. It's all on the website. It's a lot of stuff. It's pretty complicated, but we make it pretty simple. We do. It's very easily explained, so you'll be able to read that on the website, WBRC.com. Stewart Welch, thank you, sir. Thanks, Mike. All right. Still ahead.